Thanks, Larry. Hey, everyone. My name is Jeff Giese. I'm the founder and CEO of BestVendor. We're a startup based here in New York City. We're less than a year old, and our vision is to be the first place business people, you all, go whenever you need to figure out what to buy using social recommendations. Just by way of introduction, how many of you have bought something in the last year for your business and you weren't sure what to buy at first? If you're like most business people, the first thing you wanted to know was, what are other companies like mine using and what do they recommend? And what do people I know and trust using and what do they recommend? Peer recommendations and user reviews are the number 1 and 2 drivers of purchasing decisions, and yet in the business world, they're really hard to come by. People like me, I use Yelp to figure out what restaurants to go to. I use Amazon to figure out what books to read. But when it comes to buying project management software, which phone system to buy, there isn't a single place to go for reviews and recommendations, a good one. And that's the problem we're seeking to solve. And initially, we're focusing on the business software and applications market, but our vision really is to be the first place for all business products and technology. So how does it work? So we just launched an early version of our beta in November. And the way it works is you go to BestVendor1of2. It's free. You sign in through LinkedIn. Actually, there's integration that way. You share 3 apps that you use and recommend in your business. And in turn, based on your job function and LinkedIn information, you get personalized recommendations based on what other people like you use and recommend. You can browse other people and other companies and see what they're using and interact with them. Or you can use it like a business directory with some smart social filtering. We're really, really early in the game, but let me just give you a quick glimpse of some elements of the product. So I think of it as one part recommendations engine. And kind of like Pandora, the more information you share, the smarter the recommendations get. So we're able to capture a ton of information about purchasing history and intent. I also think of it as one part social network where you can go and browse other individuals and other companies and see what they're using and asking them questions. Because again, right now you might pick up the phone and ask somebody for a recommendation, but there's got to be a more efficient way to do that. And it's also one part business directory where you can go and browse for specific products and see what the most used product is, the most loved product is, and then filter by company size, by industry, or by social network to just find people just like you. And then go to a product page where we're building these out, but not only do you get basic information about the product, but you can actually see who's using it. And you can see, read reviews and recommendations from folks, and then actually see the best third-party information available about that product. So what's the latest YouTube video on Evernote? What are people saying about it on Twitter, and so forth? So the market that we're going after is huge. There is no go-to resource for reviews and recommendations for business, and we think it's a land grab opportunity, and we're going after it as aggressively as we can. Our beachhead focus is just web business applications, and that market alone is $20 billion, doubling over the next 4 years, and 39% of revenues are spent on customer acquisition. So we think there's a huge opportunity now. I'm fortunate to have 2 co-founders in the business who bring product design and development capabilities of the company. My background's in B2B media and marketing services. I built a company called Fierce Markets, which some of you may be familiar with, and sold that in 2008. Came back and decided, hey, it's time to swing for the fences and do something bigger. So how do we make money? So our vision, we're positioning BestVendor as a massive distribution and customer acquisition pipeline to what I call the Fortune 8 million SMBs in the US and 80 million worldwide, and help vendors acquire new customers and get in front of this audience, which is a special challenge with web business applications and mobile ones as well. Like I said, we're just under a year old. We beta launched just in November, really early version of our product. We just closed a Series A, quite unexpectedly as preemptive, and really have an amazing group of investors behind us, including Peter Thiel, Ron Conway, RE Ventures, SoftBank Capital. And this year, we're really just focusing on, so we've built the cornerstones of a good business. This year is all about execution and focusing on building out our product and positioning ourselves for hyper-growth in 2013. We're just getting started. We have a big vision. I believe that BestVendor and what we're doing is a leveraged way to help people and companies be more effective, and that makes a difference. I also believe that what we're doing can help bring more openness and sharing to business. I think 10 years ago, it would have seemed weird that we all share our resumes online. And the world that we're trying to build is one in which we're all sharing what products and services we're using online a little bit more. How can you help? Please sign up, give it a shot. Again, it's very early. Keep your eyes out for us. We're looking for different partners. Feel free to contact me, and I'll be out in the lobby after this. Thank you very much.
Any questions?
From that experience that you're carrying forward into this business?
Sure. Well, Fierce Markets Fierce Markets is a leading online B2B media and lead generation company, essentially did controlled search publishing online. And what I learned through that is that a lot of media is about connecting buyers and sellers. And Fierce Markets was part of a wave of companies capturing a lot of ad dollars as they shifted online. But we were still doing it primarily through editorial. And so when after I sold the business, I took a year off and traveled and kind of had the chance to step back and realized, these social tools, where are there more leveraged ways to connect buyers and sellers? And saw a perfect storm with social recommendations and social commerce using these tools to help solve that problem and connect buyers and sellers at a massive scale. And at the same time, fill a need that I've found personally frustrating. It kind of pisses me off that there's no one place to go to get reviews and recommendations for business stuff. And I kind of got fed up and decided to do something about it.
So how do providers work with you to both advertise and not advertise and keep it a legitimate experience?
Yeah, so this year is all about, this is definitely the swing for the fences, venture capital backed kind of business model. So it's essential that we build a trusted brand. And again, our focus is primarily on building that go-to resource where business people go whenever they need to figure out what to buy for their business. And obviously, that's an incredibly rich context to monetize. So how do we deal with vendors right now? One of the things we're doing right now is expanding our product pages and opening them up to search. And so one way I think of our vision is the biggest business directory in the world, like Wikipedia, but with a layer of social discovery and social recommendations on top of that. So one of the things that we've done is we've surveyed and looked at the landscape and seen who's done the best crowdsourcing. So Wikipedia, Foursquare has actually done a great job with their new release, and so forth. And we're incorporating a lot of those lessons, and users will generate most of the content in the quote-unquote directory. But we will also have vendor provisioning tools. And some of what will come down the pike as we start to monetize will be offering them a way to have an enhanced vendor profile with a data dashboard and a way to engage prospective buyers, like answer questions.